This is Italy's Economy by Jake Brown.
And Victor Atkins.
Some history about Italy is the first people to live in the country were the Etruscans. This time period was around 800 BC when Italy was still called Central Italy. The Etruscans were known for many things, but the top three things that I read the most about were Etruscans were engineers, skilled artists, and craftsmen. They lived in nice houses, usually people who worked these jobs, and they were known to be living in the rich class. There was also a poor class, and the poor class was known for living in huts made out of wood and brick. The current population in Italy is 58,870,762 people. It's located in South Central Europe, and Italy possesses several strengths that contribute to its standing in the global context. The Italian culture and cuisine is very rich in its history. It dates back all the way to the ancient Roman Empire. There's a lot of tradition and heritage that comes with Italians. The cuisine in Italy is known for its diverse and flavorful dishes. It's considered one of the world's finest culinary traditions. Italian cooking is characterized by its use of fresh, high-quality ingredients, simple preparation methods, and strong emphasis on regional specialties.
This slide will be about Italy's main industries and imports, exports, and trade. Tourism is the biggest industry because of the historic buildings, big cities, and many tourist attractions it has. Manufacturing is another main industry of Italy because it produces major products that the country needs, like machinery, steel, iron, clothes, footwear, and many more products. Service sector is another main industry because most of Italy's workforce that are employed is in the secret services, which includes jobs like retail, hospitality, communications, media, creations, health, and education. Shipping, imports, and exports are another main industry of Italy because they import and export many products that the country needs and other countries that it trades with. The country of Italy imports chemicals, metal, transportation goods, raw materials, raw minerals, and petroleum. The exports are food, tobacco, beverages, vehicles, textiles, clothing, engineering products, and machinery. Italy imports goods from the U.S., Germany, France, and the United Kingdom. Italy exports goods from Germany, France, the U.S., and the United Kingdom, and Spain. The real GDP for the last 5 years has increased and decreased throughout the years of 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. In 2018, the GDP was $2,091.93 billion, decreasing in 2019 to $2,011.30 billion, decreasing again in 2020 to $1,897.21 billion. In 2020, it increased to $2,114.36 billion, and then in 2020, the last year, it decreased in 2000. It decreased to $2,010.43 billion.
The GDP per capita in the last 5 years in Italy, it hasn't fluctuated much, but it stayed pretty consistent. It went down about $400, but nothing crazy. In 2018, it was at $34,622. And then in 2022, it was at $34,158. So in the last 5 years, it hasn't changed much. It's about $400. It's fluctuated throughout the 5 years just a little bit. It went down about $1,000 from 2018 to 2019. Then it went down about $2,000 from 2019 to 2020. Then it had an increase from 2020 to 2021, going up around $4,000. And then it had a decrease from 2021 to 2022, going down about $1,000. The national debt to GDP ratio in the last 5 years, it stayed pretty consistent. It's gone up 10%, Not a huge jump or anything. Throughout the years, there were some big jumps, but through the last 5 years, it's only gone up around 10%. In 2018, it had a decrease going into 2019 from 134.8 to 134.15. From 2019 to 2020, it had a pretty big increase, going up about 20% from 134% to 154%. For 2020, 2021, it went down about 5% from 154.93% to 149.89%. And then in 2021, it went from 149.89% to 2022, decreasing about 5% to 144.41%. But throughout the 5 years, it's gone up 10%. It's fluctuated throughout the years, but not too bad in numbers throughout those years.
Average gross and net salary for the last 5 years has mainly increased. In 2018, it was 29,560. 2019, it increased to 29,882. In 2020, it was the only decreasing to 28,491. And in 2021, it increased to 30,484. In 2022, it increased to 31,530. And Italy's average gross and net salary have increased in the last 5 years. In the last 5 years, the average gross and net salary for Italy has increased $1,970. Inflation and unemployment rate for the last 5 years has increased and decreased throughout the years of 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, and 2022. In 2017, the inflation and unemployment rate was 4.1%, decreasing 2.96% to 1.14% in 2018. In 2018, the inflation and unemployment rate was 1.14%, decreasing again to 61% in 2019, having a 53% decrease. In 2019, the inflation and unemployment rate was 61%, decreasing 3 years in a row to negative 14%, having a 75% decrease from 2018. In 2020, the inflation and unemployment rate was negative 14%, increasing 2.1% to 1.87% in 2021. In 2021, the inflation and unemployment rate was 1.87%, increasing to 8.2% in 2020, having a 6.39% increase.
The gender-specific labor force participation rate. So gender-specific labor force participation rates give helpful data on how involved men and women are in the workforce. So this will let you know about the women and men that work in Italy. The data right here, it shows both genders' participation rates appear to be stable. Nothing really fluctuated that much. There was only one minor drop for the females in 2020. It went down 2% from 2019. Same with the men as well, though. It went down 2% from 2019, 2020. But besides that, in 2018, for females, it was a 47%. And then 2022, 5 years later, still 47%. So no change. And then for the males in 2018, it started at 73% as well. And then in 2022 was also at 73%. So as you can see, there was no change. Throughout the years, there was a little bit, but in those 5 years, there was no change. And it stayed pretty consistent. Some fun facts that I found out about Italy while doing this project were some of the cities from the first civilizations in Italy dating back to 800 BC still exist today in 2023. The names of those 5 cities are Arezzo, Chiusi, Cortona, Perugia, and Cerveteri. Picture below, starting on the left side of the screen, is Arezzo. That's the picture of it today. To the right of that is Chiusi. It's a picture of it today. Right above that, diagonally, is Cortona. That's a picture of it today. Right below Cortona is Perugia, and that's a picture of it today as well. And then Secretary is a picture I would say as well. But I think what is really cool about it is all five of these pictures you see, all these structures were made in 800 BC. Like they've been kept up and like renovations, but the base of these structures were all dating all the way back to 800 BC. So I thought that'd be pretty cool to put in the slide to let you know about. And then some things me and Victory, talked about that we thought could help long run economic growth in Italy. We had a couple recommendations that we were thinking, but we narrowed it down to three that we think could really help in Italy. So first, we think they could start by more public investment. If you have more public investment, this would help add to the stock of capital. So, excuse me. We also thought that they could lower tax rates on labor, which could raise the after-tax reward to working, saving, and investing, which obviously that would help long-run economic growth as well in a country. And then our third option that we really thought could help as well was they could lower pension spending, which would help lower debt throughout all of Italy, which would also help with the long-run economic growth. So those were our three top recommendations that we could come up with after doing some research. And this is our presentation on Italy. Have a nice morning, day, afternoon, whatever you're doing. And at the end, right here are our citations. So, thank you.